Measles and pertussis, or whooping cough, have been effectively controlled in the United States with the use of vaccines. However, recent outbreaks of these vaccine-preventable diseases have prompted many to examine why this is happening. A review of recent research looks at whether the reluctance of some parents to have their children vaccinated plays a role in these outbreaks.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Hello, how are you?
Most parents do the right thing and get their children vaccinated. Even if you go out and do the right thing, your child's risk depends on other people as well.
Like whom they interact with on the playground, in school, and even within their own family.
If there is a group of people which are unprotected, they can increase the risks of even those who are vaccinated.
Dr. Saad Omer from Emory University and his colleagues reviewed published reports for both measles and pertussis. They specifically looked at the role vaccine refusal plays in outbreaks of both diseases.
In the post-elimination era, for measles, vaccine refusal has played a role in these recent outbreaks. A majority of those cases occurred in those who did not get vaccines for philosophical or religious reasons. The contribution of vaccine refusal is higher in early part of epidemics compared to later parts, indicating that vaccine refusers provide those pockets of susceptibility, that tinder that can start the fire of an epidemic.
For whooping cough, outbreaks are harder to control because the vaccine's protective immunity can wane over time.
Waning immunity is a problem. But even in the context of waning immunity, you have vaccine refusal, which is playing a role. It is in everyone's benefit that everyone stays protected.
Catherine Dolf, The JAMA Report.
One of the more important public health achievements in the last 10 to 20 years has been the elimination of measles from the U.S.
And now here's this week's court report.
In this week's court report, Jeff Stevens had sentencing hearings Monday in district court on two separate cases. Stevens was sentenced to 19 to 48 months, which was suspended. He also received a sentence of 72 to 180 months to be run consecutively. Stevens was arrested after attacking a Nye County Sheriff's Office deputy, then leading police on a two-day manhunt, all of which stemmed from Stevens' reported domestic disputes with his estranged wife, Teresa Incapero, who filed a protective order against Stevens. In addition to violating that order of protection, other reported crimes Incapero says Stevens also committed were threats against her while he was at the thrift store she owns. Anthony Oliver was in court on April 5th for his arraignment and was appointed attorney Jason Ernest as his public defender. Oliver was arrested back on December 9th after Nye County Sheriff's Office patrol and detective units served a search warrant at 6391 Vicky Ann. Oliver, who was one of several suspects detained at that address, reportedly admitted to an officer that he had recently used heroin. Oliver was transported to the Nye County Detention Center without further incident and provided a blood sample for evidentiary testing. But Oliver posted bail prior to being seen on a court date that was set prior to his scheduled arraignment. Oliver's pretrial hearing is now set for June 1st. There are numerous cases in both Justice Court and District Court regarding various drug-related allegations and other offenses connected to Donald McFadden. McFadden, who has been referred to as a habitual offender, was taken into custody at a residence in the 300 block of Irene on January 16th after being caught on the run. The 34-year-old had been at large for several months and was sought after receiving several warrants for failing to appear in court. McFadden's bail was set at $16,280. Court clerks say McFadden remains in custody. McFadden was scheduled in court on March 31st, but his case was continued to May 3rd. Jeff Caraballo was charged on November 30th with 3 counts of burglary, obtaining or possessing a credit or debit without consent of the cardholder, and fraudulent use of a credit card or debit card. Court clerks say Caraballo has several cases pending in Justice Court and was last seen in court on February 8th for a sentencing hearing. Caraballo had another sentencing hearing for driving on a suspended license scheduled for Monday, but those proceedings were continued and are now set for May 24th. Dominic Arcangelo Coco had his court case bound over to district court to face 2 felony charges, including robbery with use of a deadly weapon and burglary while in possession of a firearm. During his scheduled arraignment on April 1st, legal parties requested this matter to be continued. Coco remains in custody with his arraignment hearing now set for May 13th. This has been your court report. I'm Eunette Gentry for News 46.
Thank you, Eunette. Tax day this year is April 18th, so taxpayers get a couple of extra days to get those returns in the mail. Our local post office will have regular hours, but the Las Vegas location on Sunset Road will remain open until midnight to assist customers. The IRS deadline for filing federal income tax returns requires a postmark by 11:59 p.m. Monday evening.
As Nevada continues to struggle with economic development, JAG, or Jobs for America's Graduates Nevada, is taking action by training at-risk youth to assume strong roles in the state's future workforce. On April 18th, approximately 260 youth enrolled in the JAG program from 10 counties throughout the state will convene to demonstrate just how prepared they are at the JAG Nevada Second Annual Career Development Conference in Las Vegas, April 17th through the 18th. Our local JAG students donated their time Saturday to Symphony Animal Foundation.
Today, the JAG students from the Pahrump Valley High School are doing a community service project. We've been here a couple hours. We hosted a business challenge in the community, and we were able to collect animal supplies to be donated to Symphony. But we wanted to raise awareness so that the community can support Symphony, because we believe it's important that there are no-kill shelter.
What is the JAG students? What do they do?
The JAG students learn character development, communication skills, job readiness, and that's what we do. AT&T actually sponsored this project for us to be able to do the business challenge and do a community service project.
What ages are these kids right here?
They are all juniors and seniors in high school.
And so tell me about the sponsorship. How did that go out to the community?
Well, JAG is actually a nonprofit, and it functions off of donations from other businesses and corporations. So AT&T actually came down through my supervisor that this is what they wanted the students to be involved in their community.
It's opened my eyes for my future.
JAG has helped me a lot. It's made me realize that I need to take steps to further my education in order to get the career that I want. So I've been taking those steps as of late.
You have a job through JAG, right?
No, the job is actually through the coalition. I work at the high school. I do custodial work through the coalition, and that's really helped me a lot because it's a good foot in the door, basically, get into the school district.
And you, Eugene?
I don't currently have a job, but I do have side jobs, such as pulling weeds for people I know.
Yeah. How do you like working with the animals here today?
I loved it. All the animals were awesome. They're all so adorable and just fun to be around.
That the students came and helped us weed, and then just, walked the dogs and just got to be familiar with the dogs and everything, so that was really wonderful. And
did they bring all the supplies that were donated from the businesses?
Yes, they did.
Was it easy to work with the kids here?
Yes, it was. It was very, and then a lot of them, spent time with the cats and the dogs, and it's very special.
I can imagine that in an animal rescue that you guys could get caught up in all the projects and things that need to be done here. Are you feeling like this is a really great partnership with the JAG group?
Yes, it is. It's just a wonderful, and we love animals, and it's just all about the animals.
All right, folks, we'll keep it here because we're going to have more local news for you after these messages.